On my 25th birthday, my sister gave me a Porsche worth over $2 million. That night, while I was drinking with friends at a bar, I received a call from an unknown number. Man-child, freeloader, can't you get a job and earn your own money? Doesn't your conscience bother you, spending someone else's hard-earned money? Do you have any idea that every penny you spend is the joint property of your sister and me? I have the right to demand it back. I advise you to obediently transfer the car to my name. Realizing it was my sister's new boyfriend, I immediately hung up and called her. What kind of trashy boyfriend did you find? Tell him to get as far away as possible. On my 25th birthday, my sister, to repay me for helping her with her career, gifted me a Porsche worth over $2 million. That evening, I drove the Porsche to a bar to celebrate my birthday with friends. A call came from an unknown number. Man-child, freeloader, how dare you accept such an expensive car? Can't you get a job and earn your own money? I was taken aback and asked irritably, who is this? I'm your sister Fu Yuni's boyfriend, Zhou Shubai. Zhou Shubai? The college student my sister is sponsoring? How did he get my number? Did my sister give it to him? I didn't waste any more words with Zhou Shubai. I hung up and called my sister directly. My sister said she was indeed dating Zhou Shubai. I cursed her for her poor taste and for dating such a trashy boyfriend. Break up with Zhou Shubai immediately, stop sponsoring him, and tell him to get as far away as possible. My sister asked me what was wrong. I told her everything, down to the last detail. After hearing this, my sister flew into a rage, said she would handle it, and hung up. I thought my sister would break up with Zhou Shubai and give him a harsh lesson. Who knew that an hour later, when it was time to blow out the candles, as I closed my eyes to make a wish, a man burst out from the crowd, pulled the candles off the cake, picked it up, and smashed it in my face. It happened so suddenly that my friends and I were all completely stunned. I wiped my face. The thick cream was blinding me. I looked up, barely managing to squint my eyes, and could vaguely see Zhou Shubai shouting furiously at me, spit flying everywhere. Fu Jingyuan, are you a child? How dare you run and tattle to your sister? I'm warning you. Stop depending on your sister and parents. Figure out how to get a job, stand on your own 2 feet, and give the car back to me. Otherwise, I'll sue you in court. First of all, I don't rely on my sister and parents to get by. And what's wrong with a sister giving her own brother a gift? What right does he have to demand it back? My anger shot through the roof. I stood up and threw a punch at him. Where did this lunatic come from? I advise you not to mess with me, or the consequences will be dire. Zhou Shubai staggered, and after steadying himself, he touched the corner of his mouth. It was bleeding. A look of terror crossed his face. You dare to hit me? I rolled my wrist, my voice full of arrogance. What? One punch wasn't enough. You want another? Zhou Shubai was a coward. He stumbled back 2 steps, trembling. Suddenly, he seemed to think of something, and a vicious glint appeared in his eyes. He turned, ran to the stage, snatched the microphone from the host's hand, pointed at me, and shouted, "Everyone look! The great second young master of the Fu Corporation, Fu Jingyuan. He's 25 and still doesn't have a job. He's a man-child, a freeloader, living off his parents, squandering the family's money to throw this birthday party for you. Today, his sister gave him a Porsche worth over $2 million, and he had the nerve to accept it. I am his sister Fu Yuni's boyfriend, and every penny he spends is the joint property of his sister and me. Today, he must return the car to me, or else I'm not done with him." Zhou Shubai smugly assumed his words would provoke public indignation, making everyone condemn me and vent his anger for him. What he didn't know was that this high-end, fashionable bar, affordable only to the wealthy with assets over $1 million, was opened by me. The friends and customers who came to celebrate my birthday today all knew me inside and out. They looked at Zhou Shubai as if he were a clown, utterly baffled, before turning to me with trepidation. 2 beautiful waitresses came over to clean the cake off my face and clothes. I stared at Zhou Shubai, furious. Zhou Shubai, who told you I was a freeloader man-child? Do you have any idea that the money for your high school sponsorship came from me? 6 years ago, my father, who loved engaging in charity to build a good image for his company, handed the project of sponsoring students in poverty over to me. Zhou Shubai was one of the high school students I was responsible for sponsoring. Later, as I became busy with my career, I passed the sponsorship project to my older sister to handle. In the blink of an eye, time flew by. Zhou Xiubai is now a junior in college, and his grades have always been excellent. But I never expected his character to be so poor that he would actually have designs on the Fu family. The one who truly wants to be a freeloader, who covets my Fu family's assets, is him, isn't it? Hearing my words, Zhou Xiubai curled his lip. You sponsored me? You really have the nerve to say that. Wasn't that your parents' money? Without your parents, you are nothing. I command you to transfer the car to my name, right here, right now. I laughed in anger. Even if it wasn't my money, it was my own parents' money. Who do you think you are? Why would they give their money to an outsider instead of their own son? Because I am your sister's boyfriend, your future brother-in-law. Every penny you spend is the joint property of your sister and me. I'll count to 3. If you don't hand over the car, I'll call the police and have you arrested. Zhou Xiubai stood arrogantly on the stage. I couldn't be bothered to waste my breath on this brain-damaged idiot and shot a look at a few of the male waiters. These waiters then dragged him out and threw him onto the street, forbidding him from re-entering. After several failed attempts to get back into the bar, Zhou Xiubai started cursing. Fine, I see it now. You're all in league with Fu Jingyuan, just as ignorant and idle as he is. None of you are decent people. With that, he whipped out his phone and called the police. He claimed that I had intentionally injured him, trying to steal his fortune and end his life. In the police station, after figuring out the whole story, the police launched a severe criticism and education campaign against Zhou Xiubai. Nonsense. Don't you know that only after registering for marriage are you and your lover considered a married couple? And only then can you talk about joint property. Zhou Xiubai was dumbfounded. He originally thought the police would stand on his side and uphold justice for him. In the end, he was the one being criticized. He looked at me, sitting leisurely in a chair with my legs crossed, like a dog jumping up and down in anxiety. He slammed the table, stood up, and pointing at the policeman's nose, cursed, "What do you know about love? A marriage certificate is just 2 pieces of worthless paper. I've been living with Fu Yuni for 3 months. We're already a married couple. Everything she has is mine. You can't distinguish right from wrong. You're in cahoots with the bad guys. I'm going to expose you online. Let the whole country see your vicious faces, and we'll all work together to eradicate the forces of darkness." I've seen many idiots, but this is the first time I've seen someone so idiotic. Does Zhou Xiubai only know how to study, and has he forgotten to grow a brain? With a serious face, the police detained him for 3 months on the grounds that he had openly threatened, insulted, and slandered a public official. Zhou Xiubai was unconvinced and struggled desperately. On what grounds? He hit me and took my car. You should be arresting him. I want him to compensate for my medical expenses and mental distress. The police said angrily, "We've seen the surveillance footage. You were the one who started the fight. The one who should be getting a medical examination is young Master Fu." Zhou Xiubai's eyes widened. I threw a cake. How is that hitting someone? The police wasted no more words on him and forcibly dragged him away. The noisy voice finally disappeared from my ears. I patted my clothes, stood up, expressed my sincere thanks to the police, and drove away. A perfectly good birthday was ruined by Zhou Xiubai, just like that. I was in a terrible mood, so I went to a bar for a few drinks before being escorted home by my assistant to wash up and go to sleep. The next morning, I got up on time for work. Just as I reached the company entrance, a woman strode towards me like a gust of wind and dealt me a crisp slap across the face. A fiery pain spread from my left cheek. Clutching my face, I looked up to see my sister, Fu Yuni, glaring at me with wide, furious eyes. "Fu Jingyuan, why on earth would you hit someone?" I was completely bewildered. "Sis, when did I hit anyone?" The words had barely left my mouth when Zhou Xiubai ambled out from behind my sister. Upon seeing me, he looked horrified, as if he had just seen a man-eating tiger. He stopped behind my sister, carefully took one of her hands, and said pitifully, "Yuni, let's just drop it. I'm sure your brother didn't mean it." His voice was very pleasant, gentle and rich, but now it carried a soft, almost pleading quality, and his hoarseness was laced with a profound sense of grievance. It instantly made my sister's heart ache for him. My sister turned, raised a hand to gently touch his injured mouth, and comforted him in an exceedingly gentle voice. "Don't you worry. I always side with reason, not with family. He is my own brother. When a younger brother makes a mistake, as his older sister, I must teach him a lesson on behalf of our parents, lest he goes astray in the future." Zhou Shubai's eyes sparkled. He looked at my sister, deeply moved, and nodded obediently. This couldn't be happening. His act left me dumbfounded. He was like a completely different person from the shrew who had been making a scene yesterday. I knew that girls use the term green tea to describe a woman who appears innocent and kind on the surface, but is actually scheming and skilled at deception. I never imagined that a man could be a green tea too, and it was absolutely lethal. My sister turned her head to look at me, her gaze instantly turning sharp. "Xiao Jing, apologize to Aksu right now." Standing behind her, Zhou Shubai smirked slightly, casting a provocative glance at me in secret. "Sis, I admit Zhou Shubai has some looks, and at 6'1", he's certainly striking. But can't you pay attention to character when you pick a man? In our circle, there are so many sons from wealthy families that you're not interested in, yet you fall for a poor and manipulative social climber. She was my own sister, after all. I didn't want to see her cheated of her money and affection, so I tried to reason with her earnestly. "Shut up," my sister yelled. "He's not like those other men. The men in our circle are nothing but arrogant wolves who only know how to weigh pros and cons, who value profit more than their own lives. Aksu is innocent and kind. He's considerate of others. He could do laundry and cook, and he takes care of people with meticulous attention. He is the most suitable man for marriage, the best man to spend a lifetime with. Xiao Jing, I'm saying this one last time. Apologize to Aksu now. Don't make me hit you again." Seeing my sister's unwavering defense of Zhou Shubai, I felt heartbroken and deeply wronged. "Sis, do you even know that he threw a cake at me last night and publicly framed me as a man-child who sponges off women? He raised hell and used every trick in the book to force me to transfer the Porsche you gave me into his name. Are you really going to hit your own brother for an outsider?" Slap. As soon as I finished speaking, my sister slapped me hard across the face again. "Nonsense. Asu is from the countryside. He has nothing. How could he dare to compete with a third-generation rich kid like you? You were clearly the one who hit someone, and then you called the police, bribed them, and had him bullied by other inmates in the station. If I hadn't arrived in time to bail him out, he would have been beaten to death by those thugs. Fu Jingyuan, do you think you're getting more and more capable? That with money and status, you could do whatever you want? Have you forgotten what it means to be human? What your original intentions were?" A fiery pain flared up on my cheek again. This was the first time my sister had ever hit me. Without distinguishing right from wrong, she misunderstood me, blamed me, and pressured me, all for a pretty boy. I was heartbroken and furious. Let these two slaps be the end of the brother-sister bond between us. Fine, very good. I looked at my sister with utter disappointment and nodded. We've been brother and sister for over 20 years, yet you don't know my character. You choose to blindly believe the words of a pretty boy who appeared out of nowhere. From this day on, I don't have you as a sister. After speaking, I turned and strode quickly into the company building. Seemingly realizing she had gone too far, my sister called out to me, wanting to talk things over properly. But she was stopped by Zhou Shubai. In the end, swayed by Zhou Shubai's sweet talk, my sister decided she was right to hit me and didn't come after me. I sat in my office for a while to cool down, then immediately got into work mode, unwilling to let rotten people and rotten matters affect my career. About half an hour later, my sister sent a text message to make peace. "Little Jing, I was wrong just now. I acted on impulse and shouldn't have hit you. I apologize. But in all fairness, I think Asu is right. We're siblings, after all. Our relationship can't be measured by money. The Porsche I gave you, worth over 2 million, was indeed too expensive. Can you return the car to me? I made you 1,000 paper cranes by hand. You'll definitely like them." 1,000 paper cranes. I laughed. I laughed at how a 30-year-old woman, who should be mature, stable, and clear-headed, could be so love-struck, completely played by a pretty boy. I edited a text and sent it back. You're right. A true relationship cannot be measured by money. I will go home and properly sort through all the gifts you've given me over the years and return them all to you. Please also sort through the birthday gifts I've given you every year since I turned 18 and return them all to me. There was no reply from her for a long time. As expected, the birthday gifts I gave my sister every year were either designer bags, gold and silver jewelry, or high-end cosmetics. I remember one time, at a charity auction, she took a liking to a pair of antique earrings worth over $5 million. I bid for them without hesitation. All the gifts I had given her probably added up to over $20 million. And the birthday gifts she gave me were nothing more than suits, ties, or car accessories, incomparable to what I gave her. I never said anything, because the gap between my sisters and my annual income was huge. This time, my sister gave me the $2 million plus Porsche because I had helped her land a deal worth over $20 million. She was happy, so she gave it to me. Our relationship had always been very good. We had never fought since we were young, always helping and supporting each other. I never expected that our bond would fracture with the appearance of an outsider. Such a muddle-headed and cruel sister. I'm better off without her. It was lunchtime, and I was about to go eat when my sister suddenly replied to my text. Xiao Jing, you've changed. Seeing this, I knew they had no intention of returning my gift. I sneered inwardly and replied in kind. You've changed too. Immediately after, my sister sent a series of sentimental messages. One moment, she was reminiscing about her childhood. The next, she was talking about how close we used to be. Then she was lamenting how things change and people grow apart, how a boy becomes a different man at 18. Then she went on about how hard it was for a woman like her to build a career, how she wasn't as capable as us men, and how she hoped I would understand and give the car back to her. I glanced at the text distractedly and didn't reply. She called, but I didn't answer. I blacklisted her number. That evening, I returned to my private villa. I saw my sister standing at the entrance, apparently having waited for a long time. Why didn't you answer my calls? As I approached, she questioned me, her face full of anger. You know why? I didn't give her a pleasant look, pushed her aside, and took out my keys to open the door. Stunned for a moment after being pushed, my sister strode over irritably and grabbed my hand. Fu Jingyuan, what is the meaning of this? Are you really going to turn against your own sister for a car? Let's be clear, you're the one turning against your own brother for some pretty boy. Sis, this is the last time I'll call you that. Don't blame me for not warning you. Stay away from Zhou Shubai, or he'll be the ruin of you. Enough, she said, her face etched with impatience. It wasn't easy for me to find true love. Why must you force us apart? Can't you just try to accept him? Xiao Jing, Aksu is a really good person. She was suddenly pleading with me. I shoved her away. Get out. I don't have a sister like you. With that, I hurried inside and shut the door. No matter how she knocked or what she yelled, I ignored her completely. Finally, she huffed in anger. Next month is Dad's birthday. I'll bring Aksu to the party and formally announce him as the fiancé of the eldest daughter of the Fu family. I'll make everyone accept him. Then, you'll have no choice but to acknowledge him as your brother-in-law. After her declaration, she stomped her foot and left in a rage. I sat on the sofa, crossed my legs, and couldn't help but smile. Now, this was going to be a good show. My parents were shrewd people, far better judges of character than I was. They would never allow their daughter to marry a penniless boy who had nothing and was not what he seemed. If she dared to bring Zhou Shubai to Dad's birthday party, she could expect to have her legs broken. A month later, at Dad's birthday banquet, all the top celebrities gathered. Just as everyone was chatting happily, my sister made her entrance with Zhou Shubai. The two were dressed to the nines, a handsome couple. Under my sister's packaging, everyone thought Zhou Shubai was the young master of some wealthy family, a man of great talent, and cast appreciative glances his way. Zhou Shubai was beaming, looking very pleased with himself. As they drew closer, my sister introduced him in front of everyone. Dad, Mom, this is my boyfriend, Zhou Shubai. Asu, these are our mom and dad. Zhou Shubai was polite and refined. Hello, uncle and auntie. As a first impression, Mom and Dad quite liked the tall, handsome, and polite Zhou Shubai, smiling as they acknowledged him. That was until Zhou Shubai clapped his hands and had a waiter wheel and a broody old hen sitting on its eggs. My parents and all the guests present were dumbfounded. Zhou Shubai said with a grin. Uncle, I heard it's your birthday today. I thought for a very long time about what to get you. It suddenly occurred to me that you rich people have seen all sorts of gold, silver, jewels, and exotic delicacies. You've surely never seen an old hen from my hometown, so I had a relative mail one over. It's even hatching eggs. If you can't bear to kill it, you can raise it for a while. When it hatches a clutch of chicks, they'll be very cute running around the yard. I let out a puff, raising a hand to cover my mouth, trying hard not to laugh out loud. Zhou Shubai must have thought his gift was brilliant, that it would dazzle everyone, and that my dad would surely love it. Little did he know, upon hearing this, everyone in the room immediately understood that this was a young man from the countryside, with a somewhat simple and honest personality. To put it bluntly, he was boorish and foolish, with low emotional intelligence, completely clueless about the social etiquette of the wealthy. Even if rich people were tired of exotic delicacies and had seen enough gold and jewels, they wouldn't accept an old hen as a birthday gift, would they? If it were a rare and expensive hen, that might be one thing, but it was just an ordinary country chicken that you could buy for 100 yuan. Who was he trying to fool? The crucial point was, how could my sister agree to Zhou Shubai giving a chicken to our father? What was she thinking? Had she lost her mind? After a few seconds of silence, someone was the first to laugh out loud, and immediately the whole room erupted in laughter. A little boy who had never seen a live chicken ran over curiously to play with it. As a result, the chicken got scared and flew around everywhere, even pooping. Feathers scattered like rain, turning the banquet into a complete mess. Dad felt he had lost all the face he had in his entire life, his face flushing red with anger. Not wanting to air dirty laundry in public, Dad hastily ended the absurd and unforgettable birthday banquet. He called my sister and Zhou Shubai home and launched into a furious tirade against them. Zhou Shubai was deferential, doing his utmost to please the two elders. Uncle, Auntie, feelings can't be measured by money. Although this chicken is ordinary and cheap, it contains all my love for you. If you don't like the chicken, you must like eating chicken, right? I can cook. I'll make you chicken soup. My cooking is delicious. Dad, Mom, Asu's cooking is delicious. You should try it. You'll definitely like it, my sister chimed in, trying to please them. That's because you don't have money, so you can't measure feelings with it. Uni, if you don't break up with this poor boy today, then don't have the surname Fu. Get out of this house and never come back. My dad was at a boiling point, scolding my sister after scolding Zhou Shubai. My sister got annoyed. Why? Are money and fame that important? Why do you dismiss Asu without even trying to get to know him? You're too snobbish, too unfair. Zhou Shubai begged humbly. Uncle, Auntie, I truly love Uni. I beg you to give us your blessing. I will work hard in the future and be good to Uni for my whole life. Fine, my dad said. You marry into our Fu family. Sign a prenuptial agreement. The Fu family's assets, including Uni's assets, will have nothing to do with you. We don't need you to work. You just need to do laundry and cook at home every day, take care of Uni's daily life, and you'll also raise the children in the future, changing diapers, feeding formula. As for their education, we can hire tutors. Are you willing? Of course I'm not willing. Zhou Shubai said, shaking his head. A man must have his own career to be considered a real man, to support a family and protect his loved ones. Father-in-law, after we get married, we'll be one family. You can rest assured and hand over the company to me to manage. All the assets can be given to me for safekeeping. You two just have to eat, drink, have fun, and travel everywhere. My father's mouth twitched violently, so angry he couldn't speak. Zhou Shubai continued, Father-in-law, don't worry. Compared to Fu Jingyuan, a giant baby who does nothing but live off his parents, I'm much better than him. I will definitely lead our Fu group to greater prosperity. Who told you that Xiao Jing is a giant baby? My father roared, making my sister and Zhou Shubai tremble. My father pointed at me and said, Xiao Jing was fluent in English at the age of 5 and could communicate with foreigners without barriers. He started learning to code at 8, entered the field of artificial intelligence at 11, and started his own business at 18. He has opened more than a dozen companies, including a game company, a smart furniture company, a decoration company, an entertainment company, and a construction company. He is also proficient in investment and financial management and is now worth $1 billion. How can a country bumpkin like you compare to him?" Hearing this, Zhou Shubai's expression froze. He looked at me in disbelief, then turned to look at my sister. "What are you looking at me for? When did I ever tell you that Xiao Jing was a mooching giant baby?" my sister asked, confused. "Didn't you say you have a younger brother who's been mischievous since he was a child, and that you've always taken care of him?" "Yes, but I didn't say anything else." "How did you interpret that, as him being a giant baby?" "All right, it was purely because Zhou Shubai's intentions were not right, and he thought the worst of me. But Zhou Shubai could be flexible. He hurriedly apologized to me. "I'm sorry, brother-in-law. I misunderstood you. You're so outstanding. Why didn't you tell me sooner?" I held up my hand to stop him. "Don't call me brother-in-law. I don't know you that well." Zhou Shubai looked at my father, sincerely. "Since my brother-in-law is so outstanding, he doesn't need to inherit the Fu group at all. Let Uni inherit it. Father-in-law, as long as you are willing to cultivate me, I will definitely not disappoint you." It was the first time we had ever seen such a shameless scoundrel. My father was furious to the extreme and called security to throw Zhou Shubai out of the villa. If he dared to come in again, they would break his legs. Then, from the back of the sofa, he picked up the feather duster, ready to hit my sister. My mother felt sorry for my sister and protected her. My sister still showed no remorse, crying and asking, "Why? Why do you want to break us up? I just want to be with the person I like. Is that wrong?" My father was so angry his heart ached. He clutched his chest, about to faint. My heart leaped into my throat, and I hurriedly helped him sit down on the sofa. Seeing this, my mother and sister panicked and rushed over to ask how my father was. My father, having recovered slightly, slapped my sister hard across the face. Zhou Shubai's schemes are blatantly thrown in our faces. How could a truly promising and capable man covet his wife's family's company and property? Can't you even see that? My sister retorted, "You are just prejudiced against him. So what if he manages the company and the finances? He will be good to the company's employees and knows how to be frugal. He's definitely no worse than you." Just then, my phone rang. It was the employee I had sent to investigate Zhou Shubai, replying to my message that the information had been sent to my phone. I'm the kind of person who likes to be vigilant. Zhou Shubai made a fuss with me just because my sister gave me a Porsche, so his character must not be very good. I sent someone to investigate him. I clicked on a file and checked it with my family. To my shock, I discovered that besides my sister, Zhou Shubai had dealings with several other wealthy women. One of these women was married. After her husband discovered their relationship, he caused a scene at the university. Because Zhou Shubai's chaotic private life was affecting the school's atmosphere, the university had already expelled him. With nowhere to go, Zhou Shubai found my sister, playing the victim in every way possible, and coaxed her with sweet words, saying that his family was having difficulties and he needed to start an internship early, asking if she could take him in. My sister was kind enough to give him a position as a warehouse manager, but his mind wasn't on the job. He tried every means to get close to my sister, be good to her, and capture her heart. Now he wants to use my sister's love-addled brain to take over the Fu family's company and assets, with ill intentions. Seeing this, my sister snatched my phone and threw on the ground. "Xiao Jing, I can't believe that to make me break up with Axu, you would create a fake document to deceive me." I was both speechless and anxious. "Sis, it's come to this. Are you still so obstinate?" My sister knelt on the floor. "I know Axu's character better than any of you. He is definitely not the person you think he is. I only want to be with him in this life. If I can't be with him, you could just strike me dead right here." Faced with my sister's mindless persistence, my parents and I were at our wits' end. Finally, my father asked with a look of resignation, "Even if it means cutting ties with us, you still want to be with him?" My sister answered without hesitation, "Yes. Fine. From this day on, we are cutting ties. The Fu family's company and assets have nothing to do with you. If anything happens to you in the future, we will not help you. I have my own company under my name. I will use time to prove to you all that without the Fu family, we can still become bigger and stronger. Axu is handsome, kind-hearted, and exceptionally capable. He is not a bad person." After speaking, my sister stood up and left without looking back. 3 months later, I saw my sister at a party. She was no longer as bright and elegant as before, dressed in a low-end gown, her face haggard and her eyes filled with exhaustion. She was being mocked by several wealthy ladies. Ever since you got that poor little boyfriend, how have you become so old-fashioned and cheap? You're not spending all day playing mom to a boyfriend 10 years younger, are you? My sister had been cold and proud since childhood. No matter how bad things got, she had to pretend she was doing well. She retorted, "Everyone gets old. I'm just too lazy to use technology on my face. Who knows about its water content or if there will be side effects in old age? You all should be careful not to turn into ugly monsters. As for gowns and luxury goods, at my age, I've come to understand a principle. It's better to donate money to those in need than to be extravagant. Doing more good deeds and accumulating merit is better for one's health than buying fewer clothes and eating fewer delicacies." The wealthy ladies rolled their eyes at her words. Humph. Her company is about to go bankrupt, and she's still putting on a show. Accumulating merit? Let's get away from her quickly. Don't let her aura of poverty infect us. Such bad luck. With that, the ladies turned and left. My sister wanted to argue with them, but was pulled back by Zhou Shubai. Zhou Shubai comforted her. They don't understand inner beauty or the virtue of diligence and thrift. Don't lower yourself to their level. You are the most beautiful woman in the world. My sister was immediately cheered up, smiling and nodding. Truly beyond saving. I shook my head and turned to leave. Spotting me, Zhou Shubai quickly pulled my sister along to catch up. "Brother-in-law. Long time no see, brother-in-law. How have you been?" He deliberately raised his voice, shouting loudly. Everyone's gaze focused on us. With my hands in my pockets, I showed him no courtesy. "Don't call me brother-in-law. To be with you, Fu Yuni has already severed ties with our Fu family." Zhou Shubai said with a cheeky grin, "Brother-in-law, don't say things in anger. You are blood relatives. Your bond is stronger than gold. For your birthday this year, your sister gave you a Porsche worth over 2 million. How can you stand by and not help a sister who is so willing to give to you when she's in trouble?" I laughed. "Just a Porsche? I'm sure most people here know how I celebrate my sister's birthday and what gifts I give her every year." People around us chimed in. Our young Master Fu is a doting brother. Every year he books the best hotels and invites the top celebrities in our circle to celebrate his sister's birthday, giving her gold, silver, jewelry, and luxury goods. One time, he even bought a pair of antique earrings worth over 5 million for his sister, making everyone envious. Is it such a big deal for the sister to give something just this once? My sister, blushing with embarrassment, tried to pull Zhou Shubai away. But Zhou Shubai, thick-skinned, broke free from her and came over to plead with me. "Brother-in-law, we're all family. Let's not talk like strangers. You are more outstanding than your sister. Your income is higher than hers, so it's only natural that you contribute more. Our company's revenue has been plummeting recently. Could you lend us some money to get by? And introduce us to a few projects? I swear, we can definitely make a comeback." I shook his hand off in disgust. "Don't you have a clue why your revenue is declining? You randomly stuff uncultured relatives into the company, each one arrogant and looking down on business partners, causing them to cancel their collaborations with you. Then you recklessly introduce your sister to unreliable partners, leading to a serious decline in product quality and consumers refusing to buy. If this continues, the company will go bankrupt sooner or later." Hearing this, Zhou Shubai actually started to blame me. "So you knew all along? How could you just stand by and watch us get worse and worse? Your conscience is too malicious." "Heh, I'm malicious. This is common knowledge in our circle. I didn't want to know, but people around me were talking. That's how I found out. Your reputation is already in tatters. This is all Fu Yuni's own choice. Whether she lives or dies has nothing to do with me." After speaking, I turned and walked away. Zhou Shubai tried to grab me again. I gave my assistant a look, and he quickly stepped forward to block him. "Everyone look! The second young master of the Fu Corporation, Fu Jingyuan, is cold-blooded and ruthless, ignoring his own sister. There's something wrong with his character. Who would dare to cooperate with him in the future? They'll surely be backstabbed by him." Seeing that I was ignoring him, Zhou Shubai flew into a rage and began to slander me, so much that my sister couldn't stop him. Without looking back, I left the party. As for who had poor character, the people at the party were smart enough to judge for themselves. A month later, the next time I heard news of my sister was a phone call from Mom. She said my sister had a miscarriage and was in the hospital being rescued. No matter how angry I was with my sister, no matter how cold my heart had grown, hearing that something had happened to her, an unspeakable worry welled up inside me. I immediately put off my work and rushed to the hospital. The surgery went smoothly. My sister was fine, but the baby was gone. After my sister woke up, she cried and repented to us. She had misjudged someone and shouldn't have ignored our words. After the company went bankrupt, Zhou Shubai tricked her into taking out a loan. The day after the loan was finalized, Zhou Shubai took the money and ran, leaving my sister alone in a small, run-down rental apartment, often not knowing where her next meal would come from. She was also pregnant and often felt nauseous and unwell. My sister searched everywhere for Zhou Shubai until this morning, when she saw him in a BMW on the street, being affectionate with a wealthy woman. She angrily confronted them and was ruthlessly pushed by Zhou Shubai. Blood stained her dress, but Zhou Shubai was not only indifferent, he also cursed at her, saying she deserved it, and turned to leave. I am sorry, Xiaojin. It was my fault. Can you give me a chance to turn over a new leaf? My sister sobbed, crying and apologizing to me, tears streaming down her face. Seeing her as if she had aged 10 years, her face sallow and thin, my heart ached for her, and I decided to give her one last chance. My parents helped my sister pay off the loan, and I put up $2 million to start a business with her. Fortunately, my sister did not disappoint. Every day, besides eating and sleeping, she was learning from me about business negotiations, company management, investing, fitness, and skincare. Finally, 2 years later, she rediscovered herself and became glamorous and beautiful. The company also grew larger and larger, and she had countless high-quality male suitors. Zhou Shubai, who had disappeared for 2 years, saw that my sister was successful again and shamelessly came back to find her. He knelt in front of her company in public, begging pitifully. Uni, that rich woman, forced me. She said that if I didn't get with her, she couldn't guarantee that nothing would happen to you and the child. For you and the child, I endured humiliation and compromised. You have no idea what a living hell I went through with her. Uni, please forgive me, okay? He still thought that my sister was the same love-struck fool who was deeply in love with him. But unexpectedly, my sister gritted her teeth and kicked him in the chest, sending him flying. Zhou Shubai, I've been looking for you for 2 years, and you delivered yourself to my door. I'm going to let you know what the consequences are for deceiving me. My sister had the security guards grab Zhou Shubai and called the police herself, sending him to prison. It doesn't matter what charges he was sent in on. We rich people have the power and the means. Zhou Shubai probably won't get out in this lifetime. And in prison, he can't expect to have a single peaceful day. For this matter, I praise my sister greatly. Well done. Satisfying. A great relief. The end.